So, yeah. Today I'm just gonna, I want to talk about relationships, like intimate relationships, serious relationships, and maybe touch on family and whatnot. But the reason I want to talk about that. So, well, one, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. But then also two, I had a friend from work started asking me for advice in terms of his relationship problems, and it got me to thinking about my past. And yeah, so it's just fresh in my head, and I think it's a interesting topic to try and verbalize and navigate in such a way. So man, I don't even know where to start. So I'll tell the story, a little bit about the story of the situation that my friend is in. So he's a new friend of mine. We recently started getting to know each other, but great guy, good people. And so he's got this girl that he's with, and he has a baby with. And I believe they have a second one on the way. Yeah. So, no. Yes, they do. Yeah, they have a second one on the way. Alright, so here's a story in a summed up format. He's been with this girl for a bit now. I think like about a year, maybe two. No, lies. Sorry. I don't know it fully. We talked about a lot. There's a lot he mentioned about his past as well. And that's, yeah. But anyways, the point I'm getting at though is they've been together for a while. They already currently have a daughter together. I believe, if I remember correctly, she's 4 years old. That's why I was like, there's no way they've been together for 2 years. And so, yeah, so they have a daughter together. And what happened was, so she had cheated on him, right? So that happened, and she's done it twice now. But to give a bit context, he kind of sparked the let's say allowance of that. For example, he had what did he do? If I remember correctly, he didn't do anything crazy. I know that much. I believe, if I remember correctly, he fondled on some breast of another girl, something like that. And so, so he was the first to kind of spark that, right? And then she gave head to somebody the first time, and then the second time she had full intercourse. Cool. All right. So, yeah, so he's asking me for advice about, what he should do. They've got another baby on the way. He isn't with it anymore. He's been trying to figure it out. This and that and this. Okay, cool. Anyways, and there's so much more to his past that he got me on that I'm not going to dive into because that's not, it's relevant, but it's not, I don't want to harp on that. There's a couple things that we talked about that I was trying to understand about him and about myself as I'm talking to him, because that's what I tend to do, is whenever I'm giving advice and I'm listening to somebody's perspectives and stories, I attempt to relate to it. And sometimes I can relate very well, sometimes not so much. But one of the issues that I believe that he has, that we touched on, and that he didn't fully agree on, but he definitely didn't disagree on. He's the type of person that has never, okay, not that he's never, but he's always in a relationship, So he is not used to being, let's say, self-fulfilled when it comes to the love aspect of things, right? And so, cool. To me, and I've met a few people like that, I would say that is just a concerning matter. I would say it, because because you're dependent upon a person for this sense of fulfillment on the love spectrum, right? And I'm not saying that that's bad, because it's not. We all want that. I want that, but to be the person who just gets in a relationship for the sake of having a relationship to feel that sensation, that to me, I don't think that's wise. I don't, and so, because, yeah, I'll get to that. Okay, so there's that. Now, another thing we touched on was the cheating aspect of things, right? Wow, that's a difficult one. So, all right, I'll talk a bit about myself. So, I haven't been in a whole lot of relationships, like serious relationships. I'm really gonna say 2, really, because the first one only lasted like a month and a half, maybe 2. So it's like, how serious really was that? So I'm gonna say 2. Like, truly, I've only had 2 actual, like, serious boyfriend, girlfriend, I love you, you love me relationships, right? Okay, cool. Now, there's many reasons why I've only been in 2 relationships, because it seems that some people are surprised by that when I mention it. Now, I've had other intercourse-driven relationships, let's say, but I obviously do not consider those like sincere, intimate relationships per se. So yeah, but so I think it's fair of me to say that to some extent, or at some point in our lives, all of us desire a intimate, serious relationship with a singular individual, right? And I say it that way because there's obviously, polyamorous relationships these days and all that. Yeah, cool, all right. But outside of that, again, it's a thing, I get it, but outside of that, most of us, as I said, either in some shape, way, or form, or at some point in our lives, desire a relationship, a serious, intimate relationship with one other individual, our person, right? Okay, cool. So, cheating. What a weird thing, man. It really, it really is weird to me, cheating. The concept of cheating when interluded with the concept of a serious, intimate relationship, right? Now, there's many variables in that. Like, if you're no longer happy with the person, and you cheat, well, there's that. And there's others as well. But when you cheat with someone that you actually still are in love with and have an intimate relationship, now, it can be you were coerced into it, you were pressured into it, it could be you got drunk, it could be whatever you want to say that it was the cause of why that situation came to happen, right? Whatever it is, fine. I would still consider that to be an excuse in most cases, to some shape, way, or to some extent. I would argue in every case, but but to me, it's like, all right, fine. If it is a good excuse, let's say, then at the very least, if you truly do love the person, you would tell them. Because the way I see it is, if you cheat and you try to claim to be a righteous person and say, make an excuse, and then you don't tell the person, and again, in the pursuit of being righteous, your excuse to that is then, well, I don't want to hurt them. No. You don't want to hurt yourself. That's what that is. You don't want to hurt yourself. Yeah, no, I mean, look, yes, it's true. You will hurt them. That's a fact. But if you really felt that way of like, I don't want to hurt them, you would have had the will to not have hurt them. You know? Like, you would have had the will to say no when you were pressured, when you were coerced. You would have had the will to say no to that extra shot because you knew you were getting too drunk and you knew that the person you were with was giving you, you know, signs that they were trying to get more than what they came from or what you came from. So, no. You know, that's no. No. Okay, cool. So I say that too. Because, you know, I am a firm believer that, as they, you know, the way you can say it is, the truth will set you free, right? All right, cool. You know, we've all heard that. Some like it, some don't. Whatever. But I am a firm believer that the truth is is key in life. Like, if you want to live a fulfilling life, a righteous life, and a life that will do more good than bad in general, more of the truth is key. If you want to argue that, whatever. Go ahead. But, so again, right, you cheat and you try to claim righteousness by saying, I love them still and it was an accident, but I'm not going to tell them because I don't want to hurt them. And again, no. And the reason I say that is because if that were true, like if you truly love them, you can't help but tell them. Like, your conscience, which I've talked about before, your conscience will eat at you. Like it's gonna eat at you anyways, even if you don't fully love the person, right? Like, it will. But if you really love the person, your conscience will literally, like, it won't let you let go of that issue, right? Like, and I'll give an example, a personal example. So me, I know for a fact that I cannot cheat. Or let me rephrase that. I will not cheat and don't desire to cheat because of the fact that if I do cheat, again, my conscience will literally eat me alive. And now, why do I say that? Well, again, I had 2 serious relationships. Excuse me. Again, 3, but I'm not going to count that other one. So 2 serious relationships. The first one, and I was with her, I don't know, over a year, not too long, but to give some context, at some point she cheated. Nothing crazy though. She didn't have full-on intercourse or anything. I think she just like made out, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So she made out with somebody, her best friend. Cool. And you know, she told me about it. She was honest to me about it. She didn't hide it. And I very much appreciated that. And yes, it hurt. It hurt. It hurt. Not as much as I thought it would, but also it wouldn't have hurt as much as her keeping that a secret. So that happened. But then, sometime after I forgave her, so after that, I cheated. I was at a party. Yeah, I got drunk, but I wasn't too drunk to where like I wasn't able to control myself. So, you know, I'm being honest. I ended up but me and a girl were sleeping on the same couch together. And then in the morning, I got a little horny and so forth. And long story short, I didn't do anything crazy because, again, my conscience was not letting me get too far. But what I did, the extent of what I did was I fingered her. Right? Okay, cool. Not cool, but... So that happened. And immediately I was like, I need to tell her. And so I messaged her saying I would like to see her that night. And so I went to her place to pick her up. And we were driving. And I knew it was coming, right? The event of me expressing the fact that I did wrong to her and knowing that I'm going to hurt her. A person that whether or not I was in love with her, you know, arguable, but I cared for her deeply. And I love for her, that's for sure. And I knew that I was going to hurt, that I've already hurt this person, and now I'm really going to hurt her because I'm going to make it be known that I've hurt this person, that make her know it. So as I was driving, I was going to the park by her place to tell her, and like maybe a minute or so before getting there, I started feeling like just a horrible sensation, man. But I finally got there, and and she noticed that something was happening right before we got there. And I got there, I parked the car, and I started like hyperventilating, full on, like I was like I wasn't able to catch my breath. It was the weirdest thing. And so, you know, I parked the car, I put my seat back, and I just started trying to catch my breath, trying to relax myself. And she's freaking out, right? Because she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know any better. And I'm trying to, words were not working because breath was not working. My body was not working. I was having a panic attack, right? And mind you, at that point in my life, I was, I think I was 18, something like that, yeah. At that point in my life, I was already a pretty, mental and emotionally, I was already pretty stable, let's say, right? I mean, I'm human, I'm not perfect, but I was fairly stable compared to most of my other, you know, friends and age group. I've never had a panic attack, and you know, I'm very analytical, so when it started happening, I thought to myself, what is this? You know, I was like, what's going on? It was the weirdest thing to me, and I hated it. I seriously, people who get panic attacks all the time, oh man, I pray for you, really, I do. That yeah. Anyways, and so I'm having a panic attack, and I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to get words out, but it's very difficult to do so. And she's freaking out. She's like, "What's wrong?" You know, I mean, I found out later she was thinking that like my mom died or something like that. And fair enough. I mean, the way I was acting, I would have thought the same thing if somebody acted that way, right? And so finally, at some point, I was like, I took a deep breath, and I let it out. I just went, I cheated on you. So I said the words. That's exactly how I said it. I was like, I cheated on you. Two things happened in that moment. For me, as soon as I said that, just my breath came back. My body restabilized. Everything was back to normal internally. The second thing that happened, she also shifted. She shifted. Immediately, she got hurt. It was very evident. Her face showed it. Her body showed immediately she went from, oh my God, what's wrong? I'm so worried. I love you, to I hate you. Pretty much. Yeah. So the point of that story, there's more to it. I'm not gonna go into the whole spiel, but the point of that story is I learned on that day that I am a person that if I truly do love somebody or care for somebody, it's not that I'm not able to do something that I know will hurt them, but because of what happens to me if I do that, and because I am an honest person, and I know that if I do something to hurt somebody, I need to tell them because that's the right thing to do. Because even though, yes, it's gonna hurt them, yes, it hurt her, it allowed her to be able to put herself together with the truth and better navigate her life for moving forward, that aspect of her life moving forward. Whereas had I not said anything, we both would be living a lie, and that's just not a good way to live. Whatever, if you think that is, have a good time with that. But anyways, so it's not that I can't per se, but I will do everything in my power to keep from doing something like that, because I know the personal consequences and the consequences of the other individual as well. So that's, you know, that is to say, again, if you're somebody who has cheated and then you try to state that, oh, you know, you make an excuse for it, first of all. So you make an excuse. And and then you, I would argue, lie to yourself and to everybody else that the reason you're so righteous in not telling them is because you don't want to hurt them. Again, if that were true, you wouldn't have done it. And again, oh, well, you know, I got drunk. You could have stopped drinking. Whatever. Anyways, again, I don't know every single situation and perspective in the world, so who am I? Anyways. So back to my friend. So this girl cheated twice. First one, I mean, not. Yeah, she did some stuff, you know. But you know, the second one was full on, like, oh yeah, like that's full intercourse. That's, you cheated. Like the first one was cheating still, but the second one was full on, like you did everything you could do to cheat. Like cheating completely fulfilled, 100%. All right, cool. So, I have a philosophy, or not a philosophy, I don't think that's the right. I have a rule, let's say, that I established after my second relationship. So, in my second relationship, I'm not going to go into the details because, woohoo, that's a lot. That's a whole separate video, honestly. But in my second relationship, which was a very unique relationship, very unique. I'm not going to go into it right now, but she cheated. Okay, cool. Me and her were together for over 2 years, and I was stupidly in love. And that's the right way to put it. I was stupidly in love. I was stupidly in love. So anyways, I was in love. And you know, when you're in love, you think that's the person, this and that and this. Okay, cool. Right before our 2-year anniversary, we were talking, and in an attempt to, in us both better understanding each other, we started talking about like deeper things that we haven't yet fully touched on. We touched on, but not delve into. And I wanted to. And again, I asked her if that was okay, and I told her the reason I want to do this is because I really want to better know you, because I do believe that you are my person, and I would like for you to better know me because I do believe that I am your person. Right? And I wanted to do this right before our 2 years so we can have that extra, just that extra oomph, whatever, right? Cool. Well, in doing that, she told me a story of this one time she was hanging out with this guy, and long story short, there was a point in her telling of the story where she realized something. Like she's talking, and then there was like a weird pause and facial expression that she made, and then she kind of just brushed the story aside. She was kind of like, and then yeah, that's it, and then whatever, and she moved along. Well, I noticed that weird pause and moment of like, you know, silence. You know, I noticed that shift. So I went, I called it out. I was like, what was that? She was like, what do you mean? And I brought it up. I said, well, I noticed that you did this, and that. And she goes, oh, well, no, you know, I just nothing, you know. And she tried to brush it off. Ultimately, long story short, I dug, you know, because I was like, no, I'm a dig. What's going on? And I found out that she cheated. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but so yeah, it hurt a lot. And what truly hurts is not the fact that she cheated. That hurt. But what hurt more, like really at me. I'm not. I don't. It's hard to get me mad. Like no. I mean, I'll get I'll raise my voice and have a verbal, but that's not mad. That's just, I disagree with you and I'm going to raise my voice because I'm passionate about what I'm trying to say, right? Like, that's not necessarily, I don't consider that mad. But what I consider mad is when you get me to just, when I'm mad, it's very rare, and I've been told it's somewhat scary because I'm a very happy, personable, go-lucky person. And so when I get mad, my energy just is the complete opposite of what I naturally am, and I just go silent, and my face just gets this dead, I don't like it. and people don't really like it either. And so I don't like to be mad. It's not a good emotion, but I was mad at the fact that she tried to keep it a secret, because when I found out about it, it had happened maybe, give or take, I think 4 to 6 months prior to me having found out about it. So she made the decision, and she was not drunk, by the way, so she had no excuse. Her excuse, you could say, is temptation. Again, fine, but you don't love that person if temptation is all it took for you to do that thing. It's my argument. And so yeah, that's what I was mad about. And so anyways, the point I'm getting with that is I forgave her and stayed in a relationship with her. My logic there was, she has never done me wrong up to that point. She hadn't. And I do believe in second chances. I do believe in second chances. And I do believe that we as humans make mistakes. I do believe that as well. I do. However, I made a mistake that day of just outright forgiving her, and no, not that part, not forgiving her. That was not a mistake. The mistake was deciding to keep the relationship and assuming the relationship was going to continue like nothing ever happened. And I mean, obviously we didn't ignore it. Like, it's not like we tried to forget about it. No, but and the reason I say that is because for me, okay, that I consider that a betrayal. Yeah, assuming that the relationship, and and I'm very communicative. Like, I make that a point in my relationships that I am a very communicative person. If you don't like that, if you prefer somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear, you don't want to be with me. You won't like me. It won't work. It won't work. So that was a betrayal to me, for her to have kept it a secret and tried to just never talk about it again, let that, just bury it, just shrug it under the carpet, let it grow, so forth. The mistake I made was choosing to stay with her and trying to keep it the way it was, because of the fact that once that type of betrayal happened, I learned this. I mean, I didn't know any better, but it was still a mistake. No, once I've learned now, and so I said I had a rule. My rule is, if I'm in again, I haven't been in a relationship since that person, my ex, my second serious relationship, and so my rule is, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and you happen to cheat on me, and we have established at that point that I love you, you love me, I am committing to you, and you are committing to me, and we are hoping to be our lifelong, we're hoping to build a life together. Like, if we get to that point and you end up cheating on me, and even if we don't get to that point, whatever, but regardless, if we are committing to each other in some shape, way, or form, where I'm only with you and you are only with me, and then you happen to cheat on me, my rule is this. Again, I haven't been in a relationship since then, but you best believe I am going to express this to any other girl that comes along in my life that there's potential to live a happy love life with. I am going to tell them, be like, look, I don't cheat. I don't like to cheat. I hate cheating. I can't do it. And if I do it, I am going to tell you outright the day of. And I pray to God that I never do that if I truly love you. But I understand that we are human. We make mistakes. And so forth. If you cheat on me, we can go one of two ways. The first one, the better of the two, is that you openly and outrightly tell me that it happened. It doesn't have to be right away, but it needs to happen sooner rather than later, that's for sure. Now, if you cheat and you outrightly tell me, there's a chance that we can mend the relationship from the cracks that were caused by that action. And vice versa. If I cheat, I've created disruption and corruption to the relationship. And cheating causes that. That's just what it does. Again, if you're in a serious committed relationship, when you cheat, you have disrupted and caused corruption to the relationship. Cool. So again, if my person does that and they outwardly tell me, there is a good chance, I would say, that we can mend it. Now, if it happens twice, forget about it. It's over. No, I will not do it. Like, if it happens a second time and you tell me about it, I thank you and I love you for telling me about it, but I am not going to continue down this path. I am not going to continue allowing you to hurt me. I won't. Now, if you cheat and you don't tell me about it, and I find out, I don't care. Yeah, I can. Again, I haven't been in that position yet, so I don't want to say it with such confidence, but I feel fairly confident in saying that I will drop them. Again, not hate them, never talk to them again, but I will just end the commitment of the relationship then and there, because of the fact that, one, I communicated it to you already that if that happens, that's what's going to happen, and you chose to still go down that path selfishly. And then two, it's also because of the fact that I've learned from my last relationship that type of betrayal I can't get over. I can't. Like, at that point, I don't believe that I will be able to love you the way I've loved you up to that point. And that isn't fair to the person or to me. So, hence, if I find out, and so you don't tell me, I just come to find out, it is in my good interest and your good interest for me to end it. Because unless the person is willing to do it, but I assume likely not. Maybe, I don't know. But again, regardless of that aspect, it is the best thing for me to do as far as I can tell thus far in my life. Right? Okay, cool. Now I get there's other variables, like what if I'm married to this person and then I find out, man, I have no idea what I would do in that situation. No idea. I pray to the Lord that never happens. I truly do. I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, so back to my friend. And I'm trying to wrap it up now. He is like me in that aspect of cheating. Because when he was with this girl, he did that thing. He told her about it because he felt bad. And then after she did the second cheating of full intercourse, he attempted to do the same. But he was unable to do it because once he got to that point, he just felt disgusting. He felt just, again, if you are somebody who truly cares about the person you love, or just cares, man, I don't know, has a strong empathetic will, let's say, you just no. And you know, there's unfortunately a lot of people in this world who can cheat left and right, and I mean, yeah, it bothers them, you know, like, it's not like they're like, yay, I cheated. No, but they're like, well, I cheated, not good, but life goes on, right? Unfortunately, there's a lot of those, and if you're one of them, I mean, whatever, man, but luck if you continue that way for the rest of your life. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But here's the big thing that I wanted to get across to him. So okay, a few things. So first of all, if you truly love somebody and you're committed to somebody, commit to them. Commit to them. That is your person. And again, like for me, it's like when I commit, and I do not cheat because that's just not who I am. However, I am not the person who's gonna think all the time, well, what if they do cheat? Oh my gosh, this and that, this and this. And the reason I'm able to not do that so much, or really at all, I used to do it a lot, but not anymore, is because of the fact that I think to myself, if they do cheat on me, first of all, that's on them. Second of all, ultimately, I believe they're the ones who are going to really take the hit from that, you know, because again, I know that if I find somebody that I have caught feelings for, decided to commit my time, energy, and devotion to, I am going to do everything that I feasibly can do to serve you, to make you happy, to make you smile, to make you love me every single day. I'm going to do whatever I can do as who I am at that person to do all of that. To just be the best partner you can have. So to me, if you cheat on me, knowing all of that, because I communicate those things very, not right away, but I make sure that I have open communication with my friends and with anybody that I have a close relationship with. So to me, it's like, if you're gonna cheat on me, then that's too bad. That's on you, man. Like, yes, it's gonna suck for me too, but really, it's gonna suck for you just as much. I would argue maybe more. Maybe. Okay. So that's one thing. So commit to your person, man. Just don't worry about if they do cheat on you or whatever. Just love your person and pay attention to your person for two reasons. One, so that you can serve them appropriately. And then two, so you can notice if they are not serving you appropriately. So, that's one. The other thing, kind of going off that, honesty and communication. We all know that, but many of us either don't do it, suck at doing it, or do it in a way that's not appropriate. Like sugarcoating and such, right? Anyways, to each their own, and I know that's not an easy, I would say, skill, but something that you should definitely, I would recommend you work on if you really want to have again, who am I to speak? I know I've only been in 2 relationships. I'm only 28 years old. I have so much more of life to experience and things to learn for me to really be able to have an effective advice in that space. So I get that. That's fair enough. But that's the advice I would give at this point in my life. So take it or leave it. And then, okay, yeah. So to finish up, because I really want to get to the point, is this. And this is what I told my friend, because he was stuck. He felt stuck because he's no longer happy with this person. This person, by the way, without him would be homeless. She is the mother of their current 4-year-old daughter, and they have a baby on the way. So he's stuck. He is. It's a very, very tricky situation. And, he's not happy. Yeah, he's not. I don't know if he's depressed, actually, to be honest. But he's struggling. That's for sure. Here's my philosophy in his situation, and this is more or less the advice I gave to him. Ultimately, I gave him a couple of things, but the last thing I said to him was this. Because throughout the conversation, his big thing was, again, it's who he is, and so but he's like, yeah, man, I just need to find somebody else, this and that. That was kind of like a thing, like an overlapping thing that he kept bringing up, was finding somebody else because she wasn't the one, and this and that, whatever. And I told him, I'm like, look, man, this is the most important advice that I'm gonna give you in this situation, and just in general. It is no longer about you. And it sure as hell is not about her either. And it's not about the next person. What it's about is your baby girl, your 4-year-old daughter, and the other baby on the way. To me, because I'm many reasons why, but 3 reasons why. 1, because I'm a very caring and loving person. 2, because I love children. And 3, because I'm a faithful person, and I believe that the purpose of a man and a woman being together, and there's many purposes there, okay, but one of the main purposes is to create a child, to create another human that has the faculties of both the man and the woman. And that human, like, I'm gonna tell my girl this, my wife, whoever that is, hey, listen, once we've created that, once there's a baby, that is the priority. I want you to prioritize the baby over me, because that's what I'm going to do. And if my girl can't accept that, that's not my girl. It's not my girl. So I was telling him, dude, look, really, truly, the best advice I can give you, that I think is going to allow you to just focus on a singular objective and not have you so scatterbrained potentially, is you need to make sure that whatever you do moving forward, you are first thinking about her, thinking about what's going to be best for her, because him, made the choice to have, because I believe I confirmed this, to have unprotected sex with this person, knowing that there's a chance, because I don't think, if I remember, I could be wrong, I actually don't fully remember, I don't think that she was planned or whatnot, but regardless, if you are willing to have a child, and meaning if you're willing to have unprotected sex, or take on some type of action that would entail a potential of a child being born, and again, a lot of men are not righteous in the fact that they abandon their children. So, whatever to them. But if you are a righteous man, you are, once you have a child that is yours, that you produced, you and whoever your partner is, your lady, whatever. That's the priority. That's the priority. And if you don't like that, suck it up. Suck it up. Your decisions put you where you are, and I don't care if you like it or not. And by the way, he's a very loving person, and he took that advice very well. But there are other guys in this world who don't understand that. Suck it up. That needs to be your priority. That is your priority, whether or not you accept it. It's not about who's next, the next girl. It's not about, oh, woe's me. No, woe is that child you brought into this world and into this situation. Do something about it. So, yeah, man, look. Serve your person. Serve them, love them, pay attention to them. Don't hurt them. Hopefully they won't hurt you. And then, if that person is the person with whom you reproduce with whom you create another human with, another life with, I believe that the right thing to do, the righteous thing to do, is set aside everything else, your differences, whatever. I don't care. It is not about the relationship anymore. It's not about you as an individual anymore. It's not about your partner anymore. At that point, it's about the child or the children. That's what it's about. It's about the next generation. Get over it. Let go of your ego. And focus on the beauty and importance of an infant, of a child, and nurture that the best way that you physically can. And if that's hard and struggle and whatever, suck it up. Suck it up. You made your decisions. Deal with the consequences. I didn't want to leave in a not pessimistic. I didn't want to leave in a not happy note. But no, man. Yeah. Ultimately, learn to love yourself too, by the way, because again, he never learned. That's why I think a lot of people who can't not be in a relationship struggle, because they don't know how to fully love themselves. I'm not saying that with confidence, but that's a theory that I have, let's say. But learn to love yourself, man, so that you can best love your person and your child and others, and live what I believe to be a fulfilling life. But yeah, alright, well, that's it for now. Everybody, happy Valentine's Day, and thanks for listening.